Stop right there. Before you scroll away, let me ask you something that will change how you see the world forever. Have you ever noticed how the good people suffer while the ruthless rise? Have you ever wondered why the ones who sacrifice, give, and forgive are the ones who get betrayed first? And tell me this, if goodness was truly a reward, why are cemeteries filled with forgotten saints, while history books glorify conquerors? The truth is brutal, and you've felt it. Deep down, being good doesn't protect you, it exposes you. Society tells you goodness is a shield, but in reality, it paints a target on your back. The world doesn't care about your kindness. It cares about what it can take from you. And here's the hidden truth Machiavelli whispered centuries ago. Men forget more easily the death of their father than the loss of their inheritance. Think about that. They will forget your kindness the moment you stop giving, but they will never forget the day you deny them what they want. That's the shocking cost of goodness. Not peace, not protection, but weakness. And weakness is a crime the powerful never forgive. Look around. The loyal employee fired first. The faithful partner cheated on. The friend who always gives abandoned. When they finally say no, goodness without power isn't respected. It's consumed. This isn't me telling you to be cruel. This is me showing you why being good, in the way the world defines it, will drain you, destroy you, and discard you. Because here's the truth. Goodness must be masked with strength, or it becomes suicide. Drop this in the comments right now. I see through the lie, because what I'm about to show you is Machiavelli's hidden truth about goodness. You've been told your whole life that being consistent, being reliable, being good is the highest virtue. But here's the lie. Predictability doesn't make you respected. It makes you prey. Think about it. If I already know how you'll react, then I control you. If I know you'll always forgive, I can betray you without fear. If I know you'll always say yes, I can use you endlessly. And if I know you'll never fight back, then I own you. This is the hidden trap of goodness. The more predictable you are, the less power you have. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. In The Prince, he wrote, "A prince who is not wise himself cannot be well advised." Why? Because the predictable ruler who listens blindly to others becomes their puppet. Predictability is a leash, and the world is full of hands ready to pull it. Look around in your own life. You know someone like this, the good friend who is always available, day or night. Everyone runs to them with problems. But when that friend is in pain, suddenly no one answers the phone or think about work. The dependable employee who always stays late, always picks up extra shifts. What happens? Do they get rewarded? No. They get more piled on them, while the lazy ones walk free. Why? Because predictability is easy to exploit. They know you won't resist. They know you'll bend until you break. Here's the tactic. Be good, but never be predictable. Kindness must be a choice, not a reflex. Forgiveness must be rare, not automatic. Help must be given on your terms, not demanded by others. You want to break the leash? Here's how. Start saying no in moments when people expect yes. Pull back when they assume you'll always step forward. Show unpredictability. Confuse them. Force them to second-guess what version of you they'll meet. Because when you're unpredictable, you regain control. Drop this in the comments right now. I choose power over pity. And remember this. Being unpredictable doesn't mean being cruel. It means showing the world you cannot be read like an open book. And when they can't read you, they can't control you. Now, That's the first hidden cost of goodness. But it's only the beginning. Because if predictability makes you prey, then generosity is what fattens you for slaughter. You've been told generosity is the highest form of goodness. Give, share, sacrifice, and the world will love you for it. But here's the lie. Generosity doesn't earn love. It breeds greed. The more you give, the more they expect. The more you sacrifice, the less they respect it. And the moment you stop, they turn on you like wolves starved of meat. This is the shocking cost of generosity. What begins as admiration always rots into entitlement. Machiavelli warned rulers about this exact trap. In The Prince, he wrote, "A prince who is generous will be ruined because he will spend until he has nothing left, and then he will be despised." Do you see it? The generous are not remembered as heroes. They are abandoned as failures. Look at history. Kings who taxed themselves dry to feed the people were overthrown the moment famine struck. Leaders who gave too much were seen as weak, and weakness invites rebellion. Now think about your own life. The friend who always pays for everyone's meal. At first, people smile. They thank them. But soon, it's not gratitude. It's expectation. And the day that friend doesn't pay, suddenly, they're selfish. Or the parent who sacrifices every dream for their children. The kids don't always grow up grateful. Some grow up entitled. Because constant generosity doesn't teach respect. It teaches that everything is owed. Here's the tactic. Control your giving like a weapon. Give in a way that creates loyalty, not greed. Give sparingly, so that each act of generosity feels powerful, not predictable. And most importantly, never give so much that you cannot take it away. Because here's the brutal truth. What cannot be withdrawn has no value. You want respect? Let people taste your generosity, but never drown them in it. Let them crave it, not demand it. Make your giving feel rare, like gold. Drop this in the comments right now. I am not a feast for the greedy. Because when you learn to weaponize generosity, you stop being consumed and start being in control. And yet, there's another layer. Because while generosity makes you their servant, mercy makes you their fool. From childhood, you've been taught this lie. Mercy wins loyalty. Show forgiveness. Be gentle, and people will love you. But here's the truth. Mercy doesn't inspire loyalty. It inspires defiance. Why? Because when people see your softness, they mistake it for weakness. And weakness invites rebellion. Machiavelli put it coldly. It is much safer to be feared than loved. If one must choose, why safer? Because mercy is quickly forgotten, but punishment echoes. Think about it. When a leader forgives betrayal, what happens? Others see it. They whisper, if he forgave them, he'll forgive me too. Mercy spreads like permission. Rebellion multiplies. But when a leader punishes swiftly, rebellion dies in silence. Fear keeps order where love fails. Look at history. Rome fell, not because it was too cruel, but because it became too merciful. Enemies spared, returned stronger. Rebels forgiven, returned hungrier. Empires rot when mercy becomes habit. And look at your life. Maybe you've forgiven someone who betrayed you. They swore they'd never do it again. And yet, they did. Why? Because your mercy removed the consequence. They didn't respect your kindness. They exploited it. Here's the tactic. Mercy must be rare, calculated, and unforgettable. Forgive only when it strengthens your position. Show mercy only when it binds someone to you, not when it frees them. And when betrayal cuts too deep, end it ruthlessly. Because cruelty, used strategically, is not evil. It's control. Drop this in the comments right now. My mercy is earned, never given. Understand this. Kindness has value only when it comes from strength. Mercy without consequence isn't virtue. It's suicide. And that brings us to the darkest cost of all. Because if mercy destroys order and generosity feeds greed, then selflessness erases you completely. You've been told your whole life that selflessness is noble, that if you put others first, sacrifice yourself, and give without limit, you will be remembered as good. But here's the brutal truth. The selfless are not remembered. They are erased. History doesn't write books about the ones who gave everything away. It writes books about the ones who took, the ruthless, the cunning, the ones who carved their name into the stone of time. This is the darkest cost of goodness. When you erase yourself for others, you vanish, and the world moves on without you. Machiavelli saw this clearly. In The Prince, he warned, a prince who wishes to maintain his state is often forced to act against faith, against charity, against humanity, against religion. Why? Because those who cling too tightly to selflessness are devoured by those who don't. Look at history. Do you remember the nameless soldiers who died for their king? No, you remember the king. Do you remember the countless servants who sacrificed for their masters? No, you remember the master. The selfless vanish into silence. The ruthless burn their names into memory. And look at your own life. Think of the people who are always there for everyone else. The good ones. The ones who never say no. Everyone uses them. Everyone takes. But when they're gone, what happens? A few days of mourning. Then the world forgets. But the ruthless, the ones who broke rules, demanded respect, and left their mark, people speak their names for generations. This is the paradox of selflessness. The more you erase yourself, the less anyone remembers you existed, and yet society glorifies it. But be selfless. Give everything. Lose yourself for others. But that command doesn't come from those who give. It comes from those who want to take. Here's the tactic. Preserve yourself before you serve others. Your name, your power, your survival, those come first. Only when you are unshakable can you choose when, where, and how to give. Because giving from weakness is erasure, but giving from strength is legacy. Think of it like a flame. If you let others consume your fire, you burn out in silence. But if you guard the flame, feed it, and use it strategically, your fire lights the world. This is why Machiavelli insisted that rulers must sometimes abandon morality for survival, because survival is memory, and morality without survival is nothing. Drop this in the comments right now. I refuse to erase myself, because here's the truth. No one will remember how selfless you were if you disappear into nothing, but they will remember the mark you carved, the power you held, the shadow you left behind. And this leads us to the final hidden cost of goodness. Not predictability, not generosity, not mercy, not even selflessness, but something deeper. The ultimate law Machiavelli left behind. The world does not reward goodness. It rewards strategy. You were taught goodness is a shield. Be kind. Be loyal. Protect others. They'll return the favor when the storm comes. It's a beautiful lie. The harsh truth is this. Goodness, unbacked by power, is a beacon for betrayal. When your kindness has no teeth, people treat it like a zero-cost option. They take, they test, and when the pressure rises, they cut you loose without remorse. Why? Because human alliances are transactional. They hold only as long as the transaction benefits both sides. When benefit evaporates, so does loyalty. Machiavelli saw this pattern plainly. Men's promises and loyalties shift with circumstances. When survival or advantage changes, so do allegiances. Think of the classic betrayals. The trusted lieutenant who thought loyalty guaranteed safety, only to be abandoned when the weather turned. The colleague who covered for you while your star rose, and then signed the paper that pushed you out when their own advantage demanded it. The leader who forgave small betrayals and grew blind to bigger ones until the knife slid in. Betrayal is cheap when your goodness has no leverage behind it. It costs nothing to stab someone who cannot make you pay. There are psychological reasons for this. Reciprocity is conditional. Social exchange theory says people evaluate relationships in terms of costs and benefits. If your kindness is unconditional and cost-free for others, they internalize it as entitlement. They stop seeing your generosity as virtue and start seeing it as a resource, one they can exploit until it's gone. History repeats the pattern on a grand scale. Generous rulers who lacked the means to enforce loyalty were often displaced by ambitious men who married ambition to coercion. Corporate boards sacrifice CEOs when markets shift. Allies turn on one another when fear or opportunity rearranges their incentives. The lesson is simple and relentless. Without power, goodness is vulnerable. So how do you stop being prey? How do you preserve your integrity without becoming an easy target? Here's the tactical roadmap. First, anchor your goodness to leverage. Kindness must be paired with something people cannot afford to lose. Your skills, your network, critical information, or access. Make your presence valuable in a way that creates cost to those who would betray you. If your absence causes friction, they will think twice. Second, build redundancy. Do not make yourself the sole source of benefit. Train others, spread responsibilities, maintain multiple alliances. If one ally turns, your life doesn't collapse. People betray when they think they can replace you without consequence. Make replacement costly. Third, set clear terms before you give. Give on contract, even when the contract is informal. A boundary is a small cost for you, but a big signal to others. Your generosity is conditional and therefore not an open invitation to exploit. Ask for reciprocity, or at least acknowledgement. Keep records. Make favors visible so they are tracked publicly if necessary. Fourth, cultivate a reputation that enforces reciprocity. A reputation for competence and consequence creates invisible currency. When people know you will walk away, when they know you have options, their calculus changes. Reputation multiplies the power of small acts of self-defense. Fifth, practice calibrated withdrawal. If someone expects perpetual kindness, withdraw it strategically, not to punish cruelly, but to reset expectations. Let them feel the absence of what they took for granted. Withdrawal is a signal that your giving is not infinite and that it exists on your terms. Sixth, learn to be scarce. Appear less available. Scarcity increases perceived value. When you're too easy to access, people devalue you. When your time and resources are scarce, your kindness becomes precious rather than expected. Seventh, retain exit options. The strongest protection against betrayal is the ability to leave without ruin. Build financial buffers, professional options, social ties outside any single advantage. When you can walk, You cannot be extorted. Finally, mirror power with transparency. Make the costs of their potential betrayal known. Without sounding threatening, show that their choices have consequences. If they understand the loss they risk, they will be less likely to gamble. Do this, and your kindness stops being an open wound. It becomes a strategic asset. Given with intent, protected by consequence, and respected because it is scarce and costly to replace. Drop this in the comments right now. My kindness walks with power. Repeat it. Mean it, because the world will always have those who take without paying. You can keep being good, but if you don't also build power, you'll be betrayed, abandoned, and left wondering why the people you helped turned on you. Power alone corrupts. Goodness alone vanishes. Pair them, and you survive. And you are not so easily betrayed. From birth, you've been told the same script. Be a good person, be honest, be kind, be loyal, and above all, be consistent. But here's the truth Machiavelli whispered in the shadows. If you cling to goodness as an absolute, it will destroy you, because the world doesn't reward goodness. It rewards strategy. This is the final cost of goodness, the deadliest one. Not predictability, not generosity, not mercy, not even selflessness, but the illusion that goodness is an obligation, when in reality, it must be a mask. Machiavelli put it bluntly in The Prince. It is unnecessary for a prince to have all the good qualities I have enumerated, but it is very necessary to appear to have them. Appear good, but never be bound by it. That's the principle that separates survivors from martyrs. The world loves the appearance of virtue. It feeds on symbols. But when survival is on the line, no one cares if you break those symbols. What matters is who is left standing. Think of history's survivors, leaders who projected mercy, charity, and piety in public, but who, behind closed doors, wielded cruelty, cunning, and deception to preserve their power. They were praised for their goodness, while they feared for their strategy. Julius Caesar pardoned enemies in public, earning the title of merciful. But in private, he carefully positioned allies, secured armies, and built leverage. His mercy was appearance. His strategy was survival. Even in modern politics, leaders campaign on morality, compassion, and justice. But watch closely. Once in office, those who endure are the ones who adapt. They bend rules, betray promises, and wield power strategically, all while maintaining the mask of goodness. And in your life, how many times have you felt pressure to be the good one, the one who forgives, who bends, who never says no? You wear the mask. But the problem is, you confuse the mask for your identity. You bind yourself to it, and that is where you lose. Because when people realize you are trapped in the role of the good person, they exploit it endlessly. They know you will hesitate. They know you will bend. They know you cannot break your own mask. The tactic is clear. Master the mask, but never become it. Smile when you must. Speak softly when it serves you. Show kindness when it buys loyalty. Forgive when it strengthens your position. But never confuse the mask with your reality. Your reality must be strategy, because the mask is only useful if you can take it off. Here's how to do it. Step 1. Separate your public face from your private power. Appear generous, but never give more than you can afford to lose. Appear merciful, but punish betrayal decisively when it threatens you. Appear loyal, but maintain exit options at all times. Step 2. Use perception as a weapon. Goodness is currency. People trust those who look moral. Use it to disarm them, to gain their faith, to lull them into believing you are harmless. Once you hold their trust, you control them. Step 3. Practice strategic inconsistency. Never be predictable in your morality. Sometimes forgive, sometimes punish, sometimes give, sometimes deny. Keep them guessing, because when they cannot read you, they cannot control you. Step 4. Abandon guilt. The world will call you manipulative. They will brand you ruthless. But ask yourself, do you want praise or do you want power? Praise is given in words. Power is carved into reality. Step 5. Never let goodness be your prison. It's a tool, a costume, a mask you wear when it serves your purpose. Nothing more. Drop this in the comments right now. I wear the mask. I am not the mask. Because here's the truth. The ones who survive are not the ones who cling to purity. They are the ones who adapt, who bend, who deceive, who strike when the moment demands it. The world does not care about your goodness, but it bows to your strength when you master the art of appearing good, while never being chained by it. So now you see it. The shocking cost of goodness isn't a single wound. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Goodness makes you predictable. Predictability makes you exploitable. Generosity feeds greed. Mercy invites rebellion. Selflessness erases you. And goodness without power guarantees betrayal. But the deepest cost of all, the trap of believing you must be good, of confusing the mask for the truth, of binding yourself to an image that others weaponize against you. This is why so many people who cling to goodness end up broken, forgotten, erased. They lived for others, and the world swallowed them whole. And yet, this doesn't mean you abandon all virtue. No, the truly dangerous are those who master the balance, the ones who appear virtuous, but behind that appearance, operate with cold precision. Machiavelli's warning was never about cruelty for cruelty's sake. It was about control, about survival, about shaping perception while guarding power. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. That's the game. That's the weapon. Your goodness must never be your prison. It must be your costume, a mask you wear when it serves you, a tool to win trust, loyalty, and admiration, but never a chain, because the world does not reward goodness. It rewards strategy. Look at history. Who do we remember? The ones who mastered perception, the ones who bent morality when survival demanded it, the ones who wore the mask, but were never bound by it. Think of it this way. The lion doesn't roar out of kindness. It roars to project power. The fox doesn't smile out of honesty. It smiles to deceive. And yet both survive. Both rule their corners of the wild. The lion without cunning dies. The fox without strength starves. But the one who blends the two, the lion's strength with the fox's guile, is untouchable. This is the path Machiavelli laid out. Not goodness, not cruelty, not mercy, not betrayal, but balance, strategy, appearance, power. So where does that leave you? It leaves you with a choice. You can keep living as you are now, bound by the image of goodness, predictable, generous without limit, merciful without consequence, selfless to the point of erasure. And if you do, the world will keep taking. It will keep draining you. And when you are gone, it will forget you. Or you can choose the Machiavellian path. Appear good, smile when you must, forgive when it serves you, give when it buys loyalty, but beneath the mask, remain untouchable, strategic, ruthless when needed, a lion in the skin of a lamb, a fox wearing the mask of a saint. That is the hidden truth. That is the antidote to the shocking cost of goodness. Drop this in the comments right now. I protect my energy. Say it. Own it. Seal it. Because the moment you do, you step into a world most people will never see. A world where you no longer beg for respect, but command it. Where your goodness is never weakness, but weapon. Where your kindness is never erasure, but power. Machiavelli knew it centuries ago, and now you know it too. Remember this: everyone sees what you appear to be. Few know what you truly are. Let them see goodness, but in your core, carry strategy, because the world doesn't honor the selfless. It remembers the strong. And when the story of your life is written, don't let it be the story of one who was consumed by goodness. Let it be the story of one who mastered the mask and left behind a legacy carved in power.